Hey there, welcome back to Career Next Steps. I'm Dennis. Today we're going to talk about the medical profession.
If you're a student in GCSEs, A-levels, or in your sophomore to senior years in high school and dreaming of becoming a medical professional, consider this to be your how-to guide. Today, we'll break down the essential subjects you need to focus on, why they're important, and give you a roadmap on what to expect during your medical studies journey. What I'm about to suggest to you are the core building blocks and foundational studies you must master. The same would apply if you wanted to become a surgeon, a pediatrician, a cardiologist, a nurse or nurse practitioner, an anesthesiologist, a radiologist, a general practitioner, a dentist, a pharmacist, an orthopedic surgeon, a gynecologist, a psychiatrist, a dermatologist, a medical laboratory technician, a physical therapist, an oncologist, an optometrist, or a neurologist.
Now, before I continue, I want to say that I am not a medical professional, but I've done some extensive research into this field. I have researched the core subjects you require for this pathway. I have spoken with teachers, with lecturers, with professionals in the field with decades of experience. And in a sense, this is a summary of everything I've gathered.
For some people, pursuing this career could be a dream come true, but for others, it could be a nightmare. As I mentioned before, my 15-year-old daughter is preparing to write her GCSEs and is passionate about becoming a medical doctor. So I began this journey as a way to understand the intricacies of being a medical professional, to understand the basic requirements, and to help advise and coach her to success. Note that none of this is imposed on her. The choice was hers. My job as a parent is to support and give her the best advice I possibly can. Most schools nowadays have a career advice office, so do speak to them if you need further advice. Let's start with the core subjects. If you're serious about becoming a medical professional, these are the subjects you absolutely must excel in. The first one is biology. Biology is the foundation of life sciences. This is where you'll learn about the human body, cells, genetics, and diseases, everything that directly relates to medicine. Biology provides fundamental knowledge of human anatomy and physiology, which is crucial for diagnosing and treating patients. For example, doctors must understand how organs like the heart and lungs function to treat conditions like heart disease or asthma. Biology helps students grasp the basics of how cells and molecules function, which is essential for understanding diseases at a cellular level. For instance, oncologists use this knowledge to treat cancer by targeting abnormal cell growth. When it comes to microbiology and infectious diseases, medical professionals rely on biology to understand pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, and fungi. For example, infectious disease specialists use this knowledge to treat diseases like influenza or COVID. During COVID, we relied on the expertise of medical rock stars like Sir Patrick Vallance, Professor Chris Whitty, and Professor Rebecca Allen in the UK. In the US, there were people like Anthony Fauci and Jean Marazzo, who helped guide the entire world out of the pandemic. You too could be a rock star. Biology also teaches about genetics and inherited conditions. Knowledge of genetics is crucial for diagnosing inherited disorders and understanding family medical histories. For example, genetic counselors use biology to assess the risk of conditions like cystic fibrosis or sickle cell anemia in patients. The next subject is chemistry. Chemistry is vital for understanding how medications interact with the body. In medical school, you'll dive deep into biochemistry, so having a strong grasp of chemistry now is key. There are the elements of pharmacology and drug formulation. Chemistry is essential for understanding how drugs interact with the body and how they are formulated. For example, pharmacists use chemical principles to create medications with the correct balance of active ingredients to treat specific conditions. Then we have biochemical reactions. Understanding the chemical processes in the body, such as metabolism and cellular respiration, is crucial for diagnosing and treating diseases. For instance, doctors rely on knowledge of biochemical reactions to understand how diabetes affects blood sugar levels. Finally, chemistry plays a key role in diagnostic tests, such as blood tests and urine analysis, which detect chemical imbalances in the body. For example, labs use chemical principles to measure cholesterol levels and identify potential heart disease risks. Next is mathematics. Whether it's working out drug dosages or reading lab results, doctors use maths daily. It's particularly important in understanding data and medical research. Let me give you a few reasons why maths is vital for students pursuing a career in the medical field. You will need maths to be able to calculate drug dosages for your patients. Medical professionals must calculate the correct drug dosages based on a patient's weight, age, and condition. For example, nurses use algebra to determine the right amount of medication for patients. Maths plays a crucial role in interpreting medical imaging like CT scans, MRIs, and X-rays, where geometric and trigonometric concepts are applied to create accurate images of the body. Doctors and researchers rely on statistics to analyze medical studies and clinical trials. For example, statistics help determine the effectiveness of a new treatment or drug. So you will need this for statistics and research. Maths is also important when it comes to understanding body functions. Concepts like ratios, percentages, and rates are used to understand vital signs such as heart rate, blood pressure, and respiratory rates. For instance, doctors calculate body mass index BMI using basic algebra. The importance of risk assessment and calculating probability cannot be overemphasized. Probability, for example, is used in assessing the likelihood of various health risks, such as the probability of developing a disease based on family history or lifestyle factors. Medical equipment, like ventilators and blood pressure monitors, require accurate mathematical calibration. For example, surgeons use precise measurements to adjust devices used in surgeries or treatments. The next subject on this quintessential list is physics. It might surprise you, but physics helps in understanding things like medical imaging and the mechanics of the human body. Physics is essential for understanding how imaging technologies like X-rays, CT scans, and MRIs work. For example, radiologists use principles of physics to interpret MRI scans and diagnose conditions such as brain tumors or fractures. Knowledge of physics helps medical professionals understand the mechanics of body movements and design prosthetics or assistive devices. For instance, orthopedic surgeons use physics to create joint replacements that mimic natural movement. Also, physics is crucial for delivering targeted radiation therapy in cancer treatment. Oncologists use radiation physics to calculate the precise dose of radiation needed to destroy cancer cells, while minimizing damage to healthy tissue. Finally, we have English or your primary language depending on where you are. Communication is crucial as a doctor. You'll need to explain complex medical terms in simple ways to patients, so honing your communication skills now is super important. Effective communication with patients can save lives. Medical professionals must clearly explain diagnoses, treatment plans, and medical procedures to patients. For example, doctors use English to ensure patients fully understand their condition and any risks involved in treatment. Writing accurate and detailed medical reports, patient notes, and prescriptions is essential. For instance, nurses and doctors use precise language in patient records to ensure consistent care across different healthcare providers. Medical professionals often collaborate with colleagues and participate in research, requiring strong reading and writing skills. For example, publishing research findings in medical journals or presenting case studies at conferences relies on clear, well-structured writing. You might wonder, why these subjects? Well, these are the building blocks for everything you learn in medical school. For example, understanding how the heart pumps blood is easier when you've already studied circulation in biology. Or when you're mixing medications, having chemistry knowledge will help you understand drug interactions. Now let's talk time. How long does it take to become a fully qualified medical professional? Remember in the intro video I talked about the difference between a career and a job. Becoming a doctor, or any of the paths I mentioned at the beginning, is a long journey, but incredibly rewarding. On average, it takes about 10 to 14 years to become a medical doctor. And here's the breakdown. You will spend 4 to 5 years doing your undergraduate degree, including undergraduate studies, medical school, and residency. 2 years doing hands-on training in hospitals, working as a junior doctor, followed by 4 to 6 years doing your specialist training. On average, it takes about 8 years to become a dentist, and this includes 4 years of undergraduate studies and 4 years of dental school. I hope you get the point. Now, what can you expect in your first year as a medical professional? In your first year of employment as a junior doctor, you can expect to earn an average salary of around £29,000 to £34,000 per year in the UK, or $60,000 to $70,000 per year in the US. This may vary slightly depending on the country, but it's a good starting point for your career. The more experience and qualifications you gain, the higher this will go. Here's my final piece of advice. Becoming a medical professional is challenging, but incredibly fulfilling. Focus on your core subjects, work hard, and stay passionate about helping others. Remember, this is a career, unlike a job. It's a long road, but at the end of it, you'll have a career that makes a real difference in the world, I can promise you that.
Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And if there's a specific field or subject you'd like me to cover in the future, please let me know in the comments below. Your future starts right here on Career Next Steps.